I started milking 4 years ago. Previously, the farm was in Suckers with purebred Angus's and selling bulls and heifers off the farm. We also had a small bit of tillage. Since then, I've grown the herd from 30 cows, and this year I'm currently milking. We'll be milking 75 cows. Current volume is 6.3 litres at 347 fat and 398 protein. The herd is crossbred herd. My aim is to build the herd up to 90 cows and produce milk in a sustainable and profitable manner.
The latest forecast, $3.90 a kilo milk solid, and I guess you can do your conversions there for euro per litre. Funnily, it's damn nearly 5 cents more than the original doomsday forecast of 3.85. It's kind of come full circle. The reality is, for that price, it's not making ends meet for most people. There's a few new stats there. Dairy and Ed has recently released the sort of projected break even for many farms is $5.25. Now that's including interest and rent. So you're talking about a farm working expense they're projecting of $3.75. The interesting thing there, Jack, that's a remarkable improvement since last year. You were up in the mid fours, so there has been some aggressive cost cutting from farmers here, but unfortunately, you're looking at an average $1.50 a kg of debt or rent servicing, and that's sort of what before there's any living expenses off it. So it is people are doing it hard. There's no doubt about it. Well, for us, I suppose our aim this year was to stand still, and that might sound very defeatist, but when there's many people starting to slide around you, it's an achievement in itself. We're quite lucky that we've I'll be honest, we're breaking even on the milk price, but then as far as living costs and any other debt repayments, we're not fit to maintain that. So we've sort of, I suppose, we have our long-term plan has on paper taken a bit of a hit as a share milker owning our cows. We've sort of had a double whammy, so to speak. We've our cow prices have been devalued, so hence our equity has got lighter, and coupled with the fact that we have been unable to pay off principal. However, I think putting a positive spin on it, our medium-term goal of land ownership may now become short-term, as in those opportunities that may present themselves that we've just spoken about. So, we're just hanging tight, and I guess the main aim, as I say, standing still, and the main aim is to be still standing when the recovery, and I'm quite certain it's going to take place, but when it takes place, that we're armed and ready to go.
In some ways, the industry is very progressive. And I suppose if you look at the model, like Jack, low margin, high volume, it'd be miles to high risk if you didn't have those. Like, you couldn't do it if you didn't have some of those tools. And so, yeah, we don't use them all that much, I suppose, because we've a reasonable margin, so we can ride it out. The forward milk pricing, so it's done by, over here now, it's done by the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. So if anyone wanted to look at it, it's just cmegroup.com. And it really, like, for a new entrant, Jack, if you could sell your milk for 12 months forward, just in case you catch the volatility cycle wrong or something like that, like, it really takes a lot of risk out of it. It's small cost, like, it costs about 10 cents per 100 weight of milk. So, for 100 pounds of milk that you sell, it costs you 10 cents to sell it forward. People don't really make money off it, like anybody doing it for a long time. But what they do is they take those real deep valleys out of it, and so that makes a lot of sense. I don't know how exactly you run it at home, but so all your big buyers in the US, they're buying forward as well. They're using those contracts to buy their supply. And I suppose 2009 really taught the US industry a lot of lessons. Like, there was an awful lot of families lost all their equity, and so since then, I suppose they've become much more risk averse. And like even our co-op now, DFA, like, they run the futures market for us, so we can sell our milk through them. Being low cost is probably your best defence against the volatility, because if Ireland is low cost relative to Europe, unless for fellas heavily borrowed or expanding or whatever. But if you can actually be low cost, you're the last man standing. So milk price should never touch you.
If you want to produce more and you can make a return off it, look, yeah, I would say go for it. It's got to be individual to every single business. I suppose, look, in terms of actually talk of reintroduction of quotas and everything, I mean, to me, like it's a huge step backwards, because ultimately it's gonna take the pressure off areas that can then fill the void. It's gonna young people, like I've got some great young lads in the team, and they're absolutely enthusiastic as hell. One was reintroduced. Do you think those guys are going to stick around? They're not going to stick around. How are we going to get talent into the industry? I mean, the consequences of it, yes, there's some negative issues that have happened because of quota going. Certainly, it has compounded the downward spiral of the current day. But look, in the long run for businesses in Ireland, if they're globally competitive, withstand this, they can sharpen their business. Why can't businesses in Ireland move into the vacuum that will inevitably be created by the current downturn?